Now I want to talk about this man called Saul originally. And he was one of the top Jewish scholars that studied under Gamaliel. And he was adamant that Jesus just couldn't be who he was claiming to be, okay? And he was so adamant about that that he went, and you tell the story, he went to the Jewish leaders and got permission to do what?
To persecute the church. And the reason, John, why he was so dead set against it, I mean, he grew up in Tarsus, which was an academic center as well. He was the master of Greek, Hebrew, and Roman culture. He knew Aramaic, and he Greek, and he knew Hebrew. He was just totally well-versed. Right. He also said, I was a Pharisee of the Pharisees. Now, the Pharisees were among the strictest law-observing sect within Judaism, and he was a Pharisee of the Pharisees. He was considered to be top-notch in that area. He outdid all the other people in his eagerness and his perfection in obeying the law. And so he had tremendous amount of pride in himself, and he was a Hebrew-speaking Jew as well. And he said, this idea of a crucified Messiah is anathema. It's actually an insult to my God. Paul wasn't a cruel man. He didn't go around killing people because he loved killing people. He was zealous for his God. He said, how can you say a crucified man? Because in the book of Deuteronomy, Moses, and Paul was a lover of the law, right. Moses says, cursed is anyone who hangs on a tree. Right. He said, you're saying this man is my Messiah who's going to come? That is such an insult to my God. I have to put a stop to it. So we have to understand the motivations for them. And they were completely religious. And he got permission to persecute these people, arrest the people. He would cast his vote in the death sentence against many of them. This was the guy who all of a sudden changed his name to Paul. Paul was a Gentile name. Now, Gentiles were hated by Jews. And for him to take on that name would have been unbelievable. What caused him to take a Gentile name? Because Paul had a complete change in his mission. The early mission was to stop the spread of this thing called Christianity, which for him was poison and blasphemous. And he said, I'm now going to propagate it to the Gentiles. So he took on a Gentile name as himself. And then amazingly, he loved Jesus and he gloried in the cross.